devices, all linked to a SeaDek control center equipped to monitor guns, radar, and data recording and collecting equipment. This was a large-scale evaluation of the threat posed by ground fire of the kinds most commonly faced by combat aircraft. Like the aircraft, the various weapons were fully instrumented for objective data collection.
Aircraft is airborne. Aircraft is 1 minute out.
Run after run, and on each side, thousands of additional facts, electronically observed and recorded in exact time frames. For each of the services that took part, the insights gained through this joint task force experimentation will provide new understanding of the threat factors which face combat aircraft. But if CDC evaluations and developments aren't confined to the Army alone, neither are they limited to one environment or one theater. With a new weapon system just over the horizon, the AH-56A Cheyenne attack helicopter, the Army had to wring out a concept of employment. But in order to understand the tactics and organizations proposed for this weapon system, it first is necessary to realize the full capabilities of the Cheyenne. This versatile aerial weapons platform can fly nap of the earth at speeds from 0 to more than 200 miles per hour. It is equipped with a sensory system that permits effective night operations and operations during conditions of poor visibility. Both internal and external armament can be used on the AH-56A. The internal armament consists of a nose turret and a traversable belly turret, which provides a 360-degree firing capability, an innovation in attack helicopters. The external armament consists of a variety of weapons which can be mounted under the stub wings. These include rockets for use against area targets and the TOW anti-tank missile for use against hard point targets. It is in the anti-tank role that this new system appears to have greatest promise. An operating task group composed of representatives of the various institutes and agencies of Combat Developments Command reviewed all previous studies relevant to the attack helicopter. The purpose of this effort was to validate and articulate conceptual doctrine, tactics, and techniques for employment of the attack helicopter. Consideration was given to computer-assisted war games, which were conducted as part of an entire spectrum of studies. Besides the foregoing studies in war games, experiments to determine the optimum basic attack helicopter team, called a BOT, were conducted at SeaDek. Throughout the computer-assisted war games, the AH-1G Cobra attack helicopter was used to represent the AH-56A Cheyenne. Based on the data obtained from these studies, war games and experiments, Combat Developments Command has articulated a concept for the employment of the highly mobile, rapid striking attack helicopter. This concept is embodied in two new organizations that will undergo extensive field testing at the Army's big field test center at Fort Hood, Texas. The Air Cavalry Combat Brigade, an experimental organization built around the capabilities of the attack helicopter, is the first organization designed so that the entirety of its combat power is borne by the helicopter. This new brigade will be tested concurrently with another new concept in combat organizations. the Tri-Cap Division, so named because of its triple capabilities: armor, air mobile, and air cavalry. And just as the answers were sought and found in the 11th Air Assault Testing.
As we said at the start, the story of the Combat Development Command is a difficult one to tell because all the studies, testing, and evaluating are aimed not at a specific hardware design, but at insights into its use. Not an end product, but a beginning. Practical, workable ideas. But if the commodity CDC deals with is intangible, its ultimate aim is simple and clear. That is, a greater total combat effectiveness of the Army gained through increasing the effectiveness of a single man, the individual American soldier.
This is no mere symbolism, since it is the individual men who must put into action all the tactics, organizational concepts, and devices that will result from CDC's search for answers to those three vital questions. How should the Army fight? How should the Army be equipped? How should the Army be organized? These are questions which must be answered. They must be answered correctly. They must be answered in time. This is the mission and the commitment of the United States Army Combat Development Command.